If you've ever been in a car accident, this is really vital information. Delays in a case, it seems to happen all the time. It's frustrating. With me now is Mike Schafer of the Schafer Law Office. Mike, welcome back to the show.
It's good to see you again, John. Thanks for having me. It's always fun to be here with you.
I love you coming on because you're a good resource for things that happen to us, sadly, perhaps every day, at least somewhere or to someone, and you always come up with the answers from a legal perspective. So let's talk a little bit about delays. When I say delays in a case, what kind of cases are we talking about here?
Well, really, any type of car wreck or personal injury case, and whether or not you're injured or not injured, there can be delays in the case that are very frustrating to the person that wasn't at fault. I mean, that's one of the hardest thing for my clients to understand and get through is delays. Delays in the length of time it takes to settle out the personal injury portion of it, but also the delays in getting their car fixed, property damage, getting their lost wages paid, and that sort of thing. It all runs way, way too slow.
Yeah, so why do insurance companies, for lack of a better term, why do they drag their feet?
Well, I think one is money. You know, the longer the money is in the bank account, the more interest they make. Second, they have very young adjusters for the most part that are going through their checklist of things that they need to do, and a lot of times those things don't happen. I mean, a common delay is we haven't been able to talk to our insured yet in order to accept liability so you can get your car fixed, so you can get a rental car from the at-fault party and that sort of thing. And, you know, the person that hit you, I mean, it's over, it's done. They're just trying to get their car fixed at this point in time. They don't have the other problems that you have as far as not being able to work, having to go to the doctor, you know, seeking the medical treatment that you need to get better.
So if someone hits me in a car accident, it's their fault. We exchange information, we get a police report. What if they don't report it to their insurance company? What happens then? That scenario is a weird scenario.
Well, that's a cause of delay. And a lot of times that's where it comes in. The adjuster will say, well, we haven't heard anything yet. And then you wait. And the smart thing to do is to call their insurance company and report it yourself. Now, it's going to take, you know, a good 30 minutes to go through the process with that. You have to wait for the accident report to come back in from the police department. If in fact there is an accident report, a lot of fender benders these days, the police aren't coming. They don't have the resources to make a run to every little accident. So you have to file a collision report, and you have to wait for that information to come in, which is usually 7 to 10 days. So that's a delay. Then you have to wait to report the wreck. You know, it's just little things that snowball down the road.
So here's the worst case scenario, I think. Maybe it gets worse. I don't know, Mike. But what if someone who hit you doesn't have insurance altogether?
Well, you know, in that case, it puts some pressure on you. You have to go to your insurance company. Like I think when I was on last time, I talked a lot about the underinsured motorist coverage, and my book is still available on what you don't know about buying car insurance can hurt you, to any of your listeners that are interested in a copy. But you have to go through your insurance company. Many times you don't have collision insurance. If you have an older car, you've made that choice. You know, it's only worth $4,000 or $5,000, therefore I'm not going to have collision. Therefore, you have no avenue to get the car fixed other than going to the criminal courts, taking out a no insurance warrant, getting them served. And this is a good 60 to 90-day process if it goes straight. And then if they can't prove they have insurance, the defendant that hit you, then it's going to be $100 a month probably, because if they didn't have insurance, chances of them having a decent job or having a savings account to pay you is slim and none.
So knowing this information can expedite the process, or at least help you expedite the process. So here's a question for you. What if the insurance company, you totaled your car, they give you an offer, they say, okay, here's our offer, but it's not enough to really cover your car. What are your options here? Do you have any options?
You're out of luck in most instances. Under insurance law, they have to pay, the insurance company, at-fault insurance companies, pays the fair market value of the car. If you went to one of these car lots and bought a used car and overpaid for it, that's not the insurance company's fault. The fact that you made a bad business deal, so to speak, the insurance company doesn't care about that. So you might be out $1,000 or $1,500 or continue having to pay on that. The best thing you can do if you have to get a loan from one of these lots like that and buy a car and pay over the fair market value is gap insurance, which will take care of that, but that's really the only option in those instances.
Okay, and believe it or not, I'm getting frustrated listening to this, but you know what, these aren't good answers, though. It's good to have the information. So what if you're hurt and your insurance company or their insurance company says, we're not covering your medical bills? Do you sue the insurance company? How does that process work?
Well, under Kentucky law, your insurance company initially pays for the medical bills, and that's between your doctor and the insurance company. And that they'll fight that out. But unfortunately, if the insurance company is cutting the bill or denying it, saying it's not related, your doctor may decide, I don't want to treat you because you know, I may not get paid down the road. Now, you do have the option, if you have medical insurance, you always keep that as your secondary insurance next to the car insurance. So, you know, make sure you give hospital, your doctors, both insurance cards.
Mike, every time I sit down with you, you're such a good resource. I feel like I should write you a check.
Okay, well, I'll take that.
He's okay with that. But for folks who would like the free information, and you've written a number of books that really help folks, or if they'd like to call your office, okay, so can they get both of that, the appointment with you or get the free information just by calling your office, going online?
Call my office. The number's on the screen there. We're glad to speak with you, and we'll get you a copy of the book, or just go to MikeSchaferLaw.com. There's a resource tab, and you can request the book, or you can put your information in about your wreck, and we'll get back with you within 24 hours at the absolute latest.
Really good information. Okay, again, Schafer Law Office, he is Mike Schafer.